Hello everybody, this is JT Productions and welcome back to another 2023 preview and prediction video. Today I'll be doing the Baylor Bears. Let's get into it. So last season Baylor sort of had a disappointing season compared to their 2021 campaign. They went 6-7 with a Armed Forces Bowl loss to Air Force. The other losses that they had that season, a double overtime loss to BYU, a 11-point loss to Oklahoma State, 3-point loss to West Virginia, which was a crazy game, a blowout loss to Kansas State, 1-point loss against TCU, where the TCU, with no time left, nailed a kick with no timeouts, and then a 11-point loss to Texas. So they did have some good wins over Texas Tech and Oklahoma, Kansas, and Iowa State, but besides that, it was a disappointing season all around. And some of that can be laid into some injuries and some of the quarterback play. So, that being said, let's check how Dave Aranda's roster for 2023 is going to shape up. Well, Blake Shapen is back. Blake Shapen was the quarterback last year who took over for Gary Bohannon after he transferred to USF after losing the job in spring to Shapen. He did not have the best year last year. However, I could see him having a little bit of a bounce back year this year. Behind him, you have two transfer guys, Sawyer Robertson coming in from Mississippi State and R.J. Martinez coming in from Northern Arizona. At running back, you have Richard Reese, who's coming back. You also have Dominic Richardson, who's transferring in as a junior from Oklahoma State. Wide receiver, you have Keytron Jackson coming in from Arkansas, which is a good get for them. Hal Presley and Monterey Baldwin will be finishing out these projected starters at the wide receiver core. Jake Roberts, transferred junior tight end from North Texas, will help out with blocking and receiving. On the offensive line, Gavin Byers, Tate Williams, and Elijah Ellis return. And you also have two transfers. Campbell Barrington Jr. transfer out of BYU is coming in, and at left tackle, and at center, Clark Barrington. I'm guessing they're brothers. Richard Sr. transfer from BYU. So, good little connection in the offensive line with that. So, the offense, they have some good pieces. Keytron Johnson was a good get. Dominic Richardson was as well. Can that improve them enough to win some of those 11-point or less games? On defense, this has been their star-studded play for the past couple of years under Dave Aranda. Their defense has been very good. You have T.J. Franklin at defensive end, Gabe Hall, D tackle, Matt Jones at linebacker. Star, you have Bryson Jackson, Devin Bobby, Devin Leemeyer, and Tevin Williams. You have four different transfers. You have Jarrell Boykin coming in from Louisiana Tech at nose tackle. You have Byron Vaughns coming in from Utah State at linebacker. You have Mike Smith Jr. coming in from Liberty at inside linebacker. And you have Isaiah Dunson at corner coming in from Miami. So, with that being said, the defense is already pretty good, but you add some pieces in there that can make an impact, and we'll see how they do. So, let's go ahead and jump over to the schedule to see how I think Baylor will do this year. Well, they start the season off against Texas State at home. I think they still have that McBride quarterback at Texas State, but I don't think that they have enough talent to keep up with Baylor. So I think Baylor takes the win here before having a big game the next week against Utah. Now, Utah, if you've seen my Utah schedule or preview predictions, you already know where I'm going to go here. But Utah's Cam Rising, their offense is pretty solid. They have guys over there that I believe could take advantage of this Baylor defense, including Cam Rising and Kuth, I think is his name, tight end. So I'm going to give the win to Utah. I just don't know if Baylor's offense to this point is going to be improved enough. So I give it to Utah, and Baylor's 1-1. Then you play LIU, and I think you're going to win that easily. LIU shouldn't be nowhere near your talent level, so I think you win that before having another big game against Texas. Now, Texas, I think, is going to be one of the better teams in the country this year. They have a lot of good wide receivers. Quinn Ewers is back. Their defense got some transfers in. Their offensive line is talented and young. I think you lose to Texas because of their firepower, and I think you go to 2-2. Then you have your first encounter with one of the newcomers to the Big 12. UCF, you're going on the road to the Bounce House in Orlando to take on the Knights and Gus Malzahn. I think you're going to win this game because of your defense and physicality. I think that the UCF offensive line is going to be one of their weaknesses this year, and I think your defense is going to be able to take advantage of that. Then you come back home to play Texas Tech. Texas Tech is going to be a very interesting team this year. Tyler Shuck, last year when he played the whole game, was 8-0, and Joey McGuire's got that team rolling. I think you drop this one as well. Texas Tech is a very talented team and very dynamic, and with their offense, I just don't know. So going to the bye week, you're 3-3, and right after it, you play another newcomer, Cincinnati, in Nippert Stadium. Now, Cincinnati, their coach, he's at Wisconsin now. Now they have Scott Satterfield, who's the former Louisville head coach. They also have Emory Jones, the former Florida and Arizona State quarterback, coming in. So, I believe that Baylor will get the win here. I just don't know if, because there was a couple of transfers that transferred out of Cincinnati, as well as they lost a lot of their talent from that 2020 to 2021 stretch. I think Baylor wins this one pretty easily, especially coming off a bye week. Then you play Iowa State at home for homecoming. Now, Iowa State's having a little controversy from their quarterback and betting, and I think he's been kicked off the team. They still have some talent at that quarterback position as well, and by this point, it should be figured out. So, this is just one of those games to where I feel like Iowa State's going to come out of nowhere and just upset you. I feel like they're going to upset one of the mid to upper tier teams, and I feel like it's going to be you right here. So you lose this one, and you're at 4-4. Then you play Houston, the third newcomer on your schedule, and I think you get the win there. Dana Holgerson's a pretty good head coach, and Houston's usually pretty physical, but I think that you're on a different level than them, and you're playing them at home, so I'll give you the win there. Then you have a back-to-back road stretch against Kansas State and TCU. This is not going to be an easy stretch by any stretch of the imagination. Kansas State, they have Will Howard at quarterback. Chris Kleiman, they're coming. They won the Big 12 this past year. TCU, they made it to the national title. Now, both teams lost a lot of key contributors. And you know what? I'm giving Baylor both of these wins right here. I just think at this point in the season, the offense is going to get figured out. Blake Shapen's going to be playing what he needs to be doing, what he needs to do. The defense is going to be good. And I think with the two teams right there could be suffering from injuries and everything and just wear and tear over the season. So I'm going to give Baylor back-to-back wins there to get them to 7-4. Then you play West Virginia at home. I think it's big that you get this game at home. West Virginia has not been a good team since 2018, 2019. And I don't expect it to change right here. I got you beating West Virginia at home to finish the season 8-4. So a little bit of an upturn after a disappointing season for 2022. Now, I could see you maybe changing one of the losses against maybe Texas Tech or Iowa State with a loss against TCU or Kansas State, but I don't know. I think this works for me. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoy, and go Dogs.